Hey gang, Monkeyboy here from Reddit Force. So yeah, I wanted to share one, or at least a couple of quick raids from one of our recent clan wars. We got matched up with a clan called Davao version 3. A really tough clan. These guys had 13 Town Hall 10s to our 4 at that time. Typically this isn't an issue for us because we have a lot of really well developed Town Hall 9s that can punch pretty high. But in this particular case, these guys knew what they were doing. And they had 50 some odd wins under their belt, so we knew we'd be up against tough bases and tough opponents, and they didn't disappoint in that respect. Now, from a strategic perspective, what you have to understand about some of these, what you have to understand about these wars is that the wars are typically not fought at the Town Hall 8 and Town Hall 10 levels, although those stars are important. Really, where you have the opportunity to maximize your stars is at the Town Hall 9 levels. And you can do that using specific base exploits, exploiting weak base designs, using superior tactics. But part of the issue here is that we're still learning, just like everybody else is. And, you don't really get the opportunity to practice these outside of clan wars. So we had a choice. We could play the game that we know, which is maximizing 2 stars throughout, or we could swing for the fences and go for the 3-star wins. Either way, we were going to probably end up, coming away with a loss from this war. And if that was the case, I made the decision to say, whatever. If we lose, that's fine, but at least we get some practice runs in. And that's exactly what happened. We sent in about, I want to say 12 Holowiwi attacks, and they weren't all successful, but every one that we run gets us a little bit closer to a certain level of proficiency with each of the members, and that's something that I encourage. So let's take a look at 14. This was one of the bases that I had flagged as a Holowiwi base. Now, one of the issues here is that is this air defense right here. Now, typically this wouldn't make a difference because you could just rush this side, but it's not really efficient. So you have a couple of choices here with how to handle this. And that's, you could clear out this area here and then just send in a golem, a light golem attack from this angle along with your hogs right behind them. In retrospect, that probably would have been the right move, and unfortunately I wasn't able to 3-star this base, but I will show you how we planned for this attack. Of course, it always starts with pinpointing the defenses that are exposed, and what made this really interesting was this. Notice where these are. Notice how these are set forth and set forward and set back, and also notice the radius of the air defenses in relation to those defenses. Now, these two in particular create a couple of targeting headaches because if you drop a balloon here, it may not necessarily go for that whiz tower. It'll end up going for that tower or that tower. So what you do in a situation like this is you send 1 and then 2 here. They'll go this way and then careen off to the right. So that's 3 right there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then 11. Now, that's 11 balloons that should be able to take out all of these. Now, one of the problems that you'll run into here is the Archer Queen. She's going to knock out a couple of these balloons, so you have to double up in a situation like that. And then what ended up happening, or what we found out afterwards, was that there were Teslas in these corners here. So that's another 4 right there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And just call it an even 20. I went in with 20 balloons. I left this side alone. Figured whatever. I'll deal with it when I deal with it, and we'll work on pulling the clan castle out. Now, with every Holowiwi base, you have to remember that time is your enemy with these. And as fast as I am with the precision deployments, it still wasn't enough time, and I wasn't able to complete the 3-star on this. The other mistake that I made was not dealing with the royals in the most effective fashion. These high hit point buildings really gum up your DPS and make them big targets for everything else. So that's something to consider for future runs. My DPS ended up getting slaughtered by the Archer Queen when one half went this way and the other half went this way, and it was just a mess. So we're gonna go. Hang on a second here. Let's go back and just take a look at that replay real fast. And then, Hulk, if you're watching this, let me know how you would have handled this and where you would have, how you would have, specifically how you would have handled the Royals, because this one was one of the more difficult bases to deal with. Hang on a second, more events. It was funny too because I only got 1 star on this, and then I 2-starred to Town Hall 9, couple of slots above me. So here we go. So that was for that Tesla. So that's 4. They're doing their business, and I'm immediately starting to think about how I want to start sending out the next round. So they're down 1, 2 for this. 2 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, 1 here, and then pause. And then 1 here, along with 2 here. Now at this point, I think I might have made a mistake with some of my calculations, and I might have run out of balloons, because I think I had 1 more. What I wanted to do is I wanted to take this clan castle and pull them across the field so that I could deal with these buildings over here. Once they were on their way over, I was able to. This is about the point where I realized I ran out of balloons, so that was bad on me. Anyway, dumping the clan castle, and then here's my first mistake: was pulling them into this corner. I really should have chosen some low hit point buildings to do this, because of that, they ended up getting gummed up. The wizards got in a little bit further than they should have, and they just were not as effective as I wanted them to be. At this point, I dropped my Archer Queen, which was another bad move. I should have dropped her over to counter this Archer Queen, and then I'm starting to dump my CC out, thinking that they might go, or thinking that they'd get pulled in, or everyone would get pulled in by the Archer Queen. Not only did that not happen, but half of my force went this way and the other force went that way, which was just awful. So at this point, 1 more targeting mistake. I forgot that cannon, but once that's taken care of, start running everybody into the center. Now this was one of the things that I had missed in one of Hulk's other briefings, in that he prefers 4 heals over 3 heals in a rage. So I'll give that a shot. I mean, really, what it was just to get them into the core and out of the core as quickly as possible, so that they could deal with all of this other trash outside. But in retrospect, he was right. I was able to take out every single one of these defenses. It did come down to just the Royals and just this brace of buildings, but at this point I've got 50 seconds to take out this entire base with nothing left to take it out with. And this was unfortunate, and 40 seconds go by. So like I said, this is one of those things where you could plan this as much as you want and go in with as much information. At the end of the day, some of these raids never quite go to plan, and just weird things happen throughout the raid. In the future, what I will definitely do is target the Royals a little bit better. But Hulk, I'd love your thoughts on how you deal with the Royals, and then specifically your thoughts on 4 spells versus 4 heals versus 3 rages. 3 heals and a rage. So that was one, and then I'm going to show you just one more. This entire clan war was an exercise in maximizing stars, and for the most part, we made a lot of the right calls with how to assign bases. But it was just the execution that was a little bit tougher. So in this case, this was another moat base. Some issues with deployment here. We're, like I said, we're still learning this tactic, and we're working on improving the 1 versus 1 deployments, because typically speaking, you're talking about anywhere from 15 to 20 balloons, and then having them take out every single defense except for what's in the core. This is the perfect base to do something like that, but we ran into some issues with deployments. He was able to go in and clear out one side, which was great. But then let's see what happens for the rest of this. At this point, he's assessing. He's trying to figure out what's the best place to pull the clan castle into. They're over on the right-hand side of the map, and calling an audible and bringing them back north to deal with them. Now, the clan castle deploy and the CC counter was pretty much spot on. He gets his BK out there, soaking up a little bit of damage, and then then Grizz starts his attack over from the left-hand corner, trying to clear these defenses. Now, had I attacked this, I probably would have sent it in from this corner, to clean up this set of defenses, and then from there they would immediately just go into the core. But you know, it ended up working out, and they all made it into the core. And again, 3 heals and a rage. Probably going to be rethinking that spell package, because anything below a level 20 Archer Queen really isn't going to, you know, it really isn't going to do anything. I believe he was successful in pulling down all the defenses, or was he? Yeah, this was a 2-star. This was a 2-star thanks to the Archer Queen, and it could have been a 3-star. You know, like I said, we're working on those deployments and trying to make sure that we're doing as many 1v1 attacks as possible. But and like I said, you know, we only get a couple of chances to do this a week. So that's about it. Hope you thought that was helpful. We're still learning the process and hoping to perfect this very soon. But hopefully in the next round we'll have a few interesting videos to show for the next war. Thanks.